one, fire!
Normally, this would be good evening, but today it happens to be good morning from Anime Analyst. I am your host, Thomas Fry,
And I'm your co-host, Hussein Reddy.
and I don't even know how to explain the fact that it's been not even it's been a little more than 12 hours since we could not connect the software last night. It just would not work on our studio. So the studio was down and we had to wait till this morning, but there is no way we were skipping Frieren. Ain't no way. Today's anime is the number one anime on Mal. It's number one anime on Crunchyroll. It's the number one anime, I do believe, also on Netflix. This anime is all over the place. We got 1 million people in the fan club in Mal. Almost no other video has that. Which there are other videos with it. I'm excited about this one having 1 million people. So let me get started with the stuff. All right. So today's anime is Frieren Beyond the Journey's End. It's 28 episodes. It finished airing earlier this year. It premiered fall of 2023. It had its main TV time was prime time in Japan time. So you know something's good when it's in that prime time 8 to midnight slot on the weekdays. It was an 11 o'clock airing. Which is prime time in Japan, and seeing how 60% of everything comes from Japan. So anyway, the licensor on this, now get this, is Crunchyroll. The studio is Madhouse, and this is sourced from a manga. This will be one of the rare animes that was created from a manga that came out to this quality. And let me tell you, people don't realize this was mega expensive to make. The genre on this is adventure, drama, fantasy, and the genre also is shonen. And it's PG-13, and as I said, this thing had a score of 9.33, which makes it ranked number one on Mal, and it's got the popularity is 197, and we're going to have a show on how they come up with these numbers, but I like following them because Mal makes it in the descriptions on a lot of places where you could see these animes. It says right in the description where it's at on Mal. My anime list is tremendous. It is huge. Anybody who watches anime knows that it exists. It knows that that's where it ranks. That's where your fan clubs have a base. It gives a lot of news on the anime, any related anime. There's a lot about it. We're going to do a show specifically on Mal just to explain all the features that this has, because if you're into manga or anime is our specialty, but if you're into it, you should know about this website because it's got anything you could find about an anime, you can find it on Mal. So let's get started with this show. My first overall impression of Frieren is I was blown away by the scenery and the quality of the animation itself in the beginning, because before you know what the story is about, you see illustrators, you see introductions to characters. You see all the stuff that you would see whether we're talking about TV, manga, anime, your refrigerator, it doesn't matter. Any review or anything about it, the first thing you see is not the story itself. You see just, those frames and the beginning of how they're starting the story, where they're picking the story up from, and it caught me on Frieren that if you pause it, any pause you take, you literally could blow it up to a 24 by, say, a 3 by 5 foot, frame it, put it on your wall, and people will think it's a painting. I mean, I was blown away by the aesthetics and just, seeing as many animes as I had, you could see the quality in the minor details of the story. So it made me sit up in my seat and pay attention in the beginning. And to as they introduce the characters, and then as in the middle of the introduction, you get your flashbacks right away. So you start to see that, no, wait a minute. I'm getting two animes for one here. You're getting a complete second story on how the heroes traveled throughout the world, throughout the northern lands, and you're getting Frieren's current situation where she gets duped into taking care of Fran and I one of my screens jumped over. What do you think of the start when you first saw this?
It's like it's different from the normal animes. Like we watch, like it had something different. The story, like they explain each and everything, backstory for each and every character. And the I was thinking like, what if they have a movie for the backstory of like the journey of the villain with the adventures party? It will be a really good tool. Like we see like the flashbacks,
Yeah.
but if we have a way, and then going forward when they show the lifestyle of the elves with like when they form their party with other humans, like they are not living that long. Like the elves have the
Oh yeah,
lifespan of
you
like
start to learn the difference in why this is about Frieren and the fact that she could live. I'm guessing 5,000 years. I don't know the true, because at one point they say their lifespan's indefinite, but at other points if that's 1/100th of her life, then you can calculate that, just multiply 100 by 100, and you get your years, which would be 10,000. So I was thinking, I'm like, man, I would love to live that long, because we don't live long enough on Earth to experience anything. I got hurt when I was 19 years old. So I started my life with major trauma to my body. I broke my spine in half in a car accident, and it took me 2 years just to get back up on my feet. And life is short. So now, I've been fighting health problems my entire life. So the travels that I wanted to do, and I wanted to go out and live on boats and all that stuff, I couldn't do it. So that this anime reminds me of that our lives are very short, and you better live them and appreciate your friends and all that stuff. So there's a morality tale behind this story too. So now you're getting two animes, and you're getting a morality tale too that doesn't jam it in your face. It just makes you think about it in the side. And I like the introductions you get. I mean, the first time you see a demon, when she takes Fern, and that they spend 6 months in a village looking for a flower, which then you learn how important Himmel was. Himmel the hero was to Frieren, just by that episode where she just looks and looks and spends 6 months looking for a flower, when she there were a lot of other flowers that were real similar, so you knew with it having to be that one specific flower and then they go on, and the very next episode, you're seeing what a demon is, and a demon's 4 times their size. So yeah, they'd be scary when they, first started out, and I keep thinking of life and times, and when they're living, the Earth is sparsely populated. There's not a lot of people out there. And there's a lot more mages. You got a lot more, just like human history here on Earth. It's kind of the same thing. If you go back to, this would be what, starting out is probably 1,000 years BC where this is starting. I mean, they barely have a horse and carriage at the time, and everything is stone. No, it just, I love this era when they put animes in this era, and they stay true to it. A lot of other animes, they're driving a car by episode 11, and that don't make any sense to me. They stay in the realm of where they set the story on this one. And honestly, it when I was doing the research on this, I found that Frieren, The Journey's End 2 already has a fan club with 50,000 members in it. It's already got rankings. It's not even announced. They haven't even said they're going to do a 2 yet. And people are so excited from this video because of the high quality. There's no other way to describe this anime. And I read the reviews, so I was reading what people disliked about it too. And those dislike ones are like, what'd you do? Watch one episode and then, slam it? Because it didn't make no sense to me on their slams. And then I also read some good ones, which I do for every anime. I read the reviews on it because I'm kind of curious what other people think. I mean, that's why we're doing this review show. We want to tell you what really is behind the anime as well as what the anime is about. I mean, you're watching the anime, so you obviously know what it's about, but we want to tell you that this one has a tremendous back supporting to it. There is a lot of people that are behind this and making this anime, and I could only imagine if a normal anime cost, all right, probably the cheap end, you could get one out, you're going to spend 50 grand. Something like this Frieren would be a $4 or $5 million anime. To do 28 episodes with the back, I mean, it makes it in other animes more apparent when, they get that back camera shoot. You look at the castle in the back corner and you can't see the bricks on it. They bury it. It's a castle because of the outline, but you can't. But in this anime, in Frieren, you see the bricks. You see the grass growing between the bricks. You see the cracks in them. They all match and line. And I don't know why I pay attention to that stuff, but I do. I love it when they take their time and make a quality anime like this one. And then her fight with Aura the Guillotine.
Yes.
The scales, I love that. Frieren has perfected bringing her mama
So
down and making it look like she's just an average magic user, and then all of a sudden it shows on the scales, and she holds it in till she gets right to the last minute, and then she goes, "No, I am a mage of 1,000 years history," and then all of a sudden you get the first sign of her mana, and they have to keep panning back and panning back and panning back. Honestly, I think she has more mana than oh, shame on me. Anyway, we'll get to it at the end, but I think Frieren has the most mana of any elf in that current world. Zedia, that was her name. I think she has more mana than Zedia. But
but
okay,
at the fight with the when the Frieren is fighting. On the other side, the new party of us, they're also like having the fights with the demons, and
Oh well,
they
yeah. I
are.
mean, the hero party went and killed the Devil King. And it took all four of them. If in that world, and as we watch this story, and you see the flashbacks to the hero's travels, and honestly, like when we were first talking about this, I told you this is Frieren, a basically almost eternal life. Uh, anyway, with her having such a long life that, and now she's finishing raising Fern, that she's wanted to go out for a tour. She loved that time she had with the heroes party so much that she wanted to rewalk it. And getting, talking with Eisen and deciding to go to heaven to talk where the souls rest, that was when she goes, okay, I got a destination. But I'm telling you, even without that, she would have ended up taking Fern to see the Demon King's castle. That was the impression I got from the beginning, that if you live for that long and you have to walk everywhere, um, I mean, you're going to walk over a beaten path that you've already been to. Even though that journey may have been hard, you don't have the demons out there now that you had to fight the first time you take the walk. So the second time you take the walk, now it's a tourism trip. I want to go back and relive. She's trying to get closer to him because she's ashamed of herself that she did not get to know her party as well as she should have. And I think that's what this anime is all about. Is about appreciating your friends and appreciating your family, appreciating the people that are around you and the effect that they have on your life. We don't live our lives by ourselves in one. It's a village of people that go through your life. Some leave, some come in, some go out, some stay, some up here, some down here. And, some influence you, you influence others. You're not getting through this life without a village. And I think that's another aspect of this anime. It just shows you a lot of things. It repeats a lot of life. And they had the budget to show it and take the time. I started reading the manga. I'm so into this. Like I said, I when I was a friend of mine does trade shows, and he was telling me that there's a whole trade show that they did to Frieren. That's the effect that this anime has on regular everyday people. I mean, the numbers blow you away on this.
No, I
900.
know because when I started watching this anime, uh,
No,
the
you lost. You cut out, bud. Sorry. Say something.
can you hear me?
No, you're cutting out. All right, so let me go on this while he's working on his mic because I don't know. Um,
Can you hear me now?
now I can hear you, but as soon as you
Yeah,
start
I was telling
cutting out, oh shit, we can't have this. Not on this not on this show. Not this time. Any other time I'm okay with technical difficulties, but not on this anime. We apologize for losing
I
our
think it's
place.
clear now, but now can you hear me, right?
No, you're still cutting in and out. It's like four words okay, then miss a word. Four words okay, miss a word. Um, the fact that this thing is rated so high. All right, so let's get back. Let's try to get back on track here. We're not gonna. I don't want to go through the entire story, but I definitely want to do an overview. So, if we're talking about the next, after she fights or the guillotine, then they got to go over the Swart Mountains and they find the monk in the cabin, and I love that scene where Fern's like, nope, that's a pervert in there. We are not somebody in real life that was like her. Um, so, anyways, your mic working now? What did you want to?
Now, if you can hear me now, let me
Yeah,
know
go ahead.
about the 5-star rating on from episode 1 till episode last on Crunchyroll. Like I was watching it like 175,000, all like
Yeah.
4.9 rating.
Oh yeah, the
That does it.
ratings blow you because you can look on any one. Like I'll pick episode 20. All right, 174K, 4.9. But the enemies that they run across in this, the demons that they run, they are painstakingly drawn. Every detail on them. They keep it consistent throughout the anime. I mean, any box that you need to check on an anime, is the story going along at a good pace? It may not be as fast for some, but this anime takes their time, does a good backstory, and if you pay attention, you get two animes in one, plus several morality tales along the way. But I feel like I know the hero's party's journey for the most part. All the critical stopping points up to where they show to the end of the anime, you get the sense of everything the hero's party went through also. And then the people that are still alive that, witnessed the hero's party and then are alive at this point in Frieren's journey, and they're like, oh, that's the mage from the hero's party. That's really you. You're alive. Oh, yeah, elves live forever. I forgot about that. And then they, finally remember, and they're like, oh, I want to thank you. 80 years later, people are still coming up and thanking him. That's how important that journey was. And Himmel the hero is the one that made that journey fun for all of them, to where that 10 years of their life fulfilled them for the rest of their lives. All
And
of them.
he is also the one that's putting the statues of the party on the towns that they rescue.
Well,
So
yeah,
he
that's
know because
Himmel's
he knows
pride.
that they will be long gone, but the Frieren will be there, and she can remember that by like watching the statues of the party.
Well, that one journey, that one city they went into where it was 80 years later, and oh yeah, we're having a party tonight. They had them all dressed, and the coach driver didn't realize he had one of the party members. I love that point. He looks up at the statue and looks at her, and looks at the statue and looks at her, and goes, "You're her." It finally hit him after they were riding for what, a couple of days with this guy, and it finally hit him that he actually has one of the heroes party with them. Let me ask you something. Were you all right getting to the first class mage thing? We're talking the last 10 episodes. Well, it starts at 8. Yeah, the last 10 episodes are about the first class exam, and I was like, man, they are hard on people to give. It ain't no joke. If you're a first class mage, you went through some shit to become a first class, and you definitely, because I don't. Could you imagine if Frieren wasn't there during those tests? They had 16 people pass that first test because of Frieren. There wouldn't have been. I was guessing half that group would have passed the exam without Frieren. You wouldn't have had that many first class mages, because it was Frieren and Fern that, killed the doppelganger of Frieren. And I guess we need to be careful, even though this is done airing. That's the last I'll say about the last portions of the episodes. I'm not telling you how, so you have to go back and watch the how. But the in depth that they went to over this exam and showing it. The one part that surprised me about it them to take an episode to showing Fern getting her third class, passing her third class test in the Capitol before they left for the journey. I mean, I understand this is the whole premise of this is, the journey after the end. So it didn't show from when they left, when Heiser died and they took off. The starting point only showed trail, and it was after they left the Capitol when when the anime picks up. But I would have liked to have seen Fern go after that third class exam because that would have really set you up even more for the last third of this anime, that how hard that was, and the depths of the difficulty of the test to get your first class. And you need to find out what happens because Frieren kind of, she gets in trouble with her personality being a little free. So you have to watch it to check out. So I guess we need to watch how much we talk about the last third of this. We'll kind of leave it to, you got to watch this. But the quality on this is second to none. This anime, not only is it ranked number one, I gave it 10 stars, a masterpiece. I felt like I got two animes out of watching one. I really got a lot out of it. I caught all the morality tales. I'm sure there's some stuff I missed. You're not watching a 28 episode anime without missing something, but I've watched it now, I think, 5 times, all the way through. And this last one, getting prepped for the show, I wanted to rewatch everything, and I made it up to 24, and then we tried to do the show last night when it was originally supposed to air, and we had technical difficulties, so I ended up getting to watch the whole thing again before we did the show this morning. But I'm glad we got everything working. I love doing this, so hopefully you were able to gain some insight, or hopefully that we give you something that you could use in deciding whether to watch an anime or not. And I want to thank you guys for being here and watching us. We love doing what we're doing. What was give us your 45-second overall of the anime?
I would say like it's a 5 star, like from 1 to 5, it's a 5 star. The plot is good, the story, each and everything. Like you can watch each and every episode without skipping anything. It will keep you attached to the screens. The story goes beautifully. Like they introduce the characters and the backstories, like the last party and the new party she forms, and then how they are. And I think like there is too many things still remaining. Like they should have to have like at least 3, 4 more animes. Like we just have
I
seen
want to see more of it.
one of the destruction mages out of 7, because they have 7 mages of destruction and they only show like the first in this anime.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, we we definitely are looking for a season two, and we're not alone in doing that. There's 50,000 other people that want to see season two too, and I'm sure there's a lot more than that because with this being on Netflix, they don't count the viewers. So I don't have Netflix, so I don't know, but I would assume that being TV, they don't count the viewers that watch it. They may keep like a count someone started, but that doesn't tell you if they watch all 7 hours of through an anime. But yeah, you're right. I forgot to mention that there was not one episode that left me. All right, I got time. I'll go get a drink back. No, I wanted to see the next one. I had to pause stuff to go do something because it drew me in throughout the entire anime. This is a definite watch, and we apologize that we did the show late. try not to have any more technical difficulties in the future. We are also going to reshoot the app show. We've got a little better format for it, and we'll revisit that occasionally just to talk about other things. We also have a new show coming up. Um, it's called Any Anime Talk, AAT. And we're going to do a show where myself and Hussein can kind of bring up anything we want, whether it's in the anime marketing, about staffing, about anything that has to do that's related about anime. We can answer any question you got. If there's something you want to know about anime, let us know. We'll research it and bring it out on this show. But this show coming up is going to be a regularly show. Probably once every 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe hopefully we'll get it to once a week. We'll have to see how things play out. So look forward to that. We'll release the thing. Check us out on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I almost said Twitter, but it's hard to. To me, it's Twitter. It's not. I hate that. So
It's
anyway,
it's X, formerly known Twitter. That's
right.
like
Well,
people
to me,
say.
it's still Twitter. So I'm just gonna say Twitter. So all right, we'll see you. We will see you at 7 o'clock. Y'all have a good day.